The theme of the exhibition is where the wild things are. Essentially, I see it as where the wild things grow. I relate to it because I know that there are still many people in this world that would consider me as insignificant. A black woman from a third world country. With that assumption, they think I have nothing to offer this world. I am a wild thing who's going against their perception. I'm glad that those misconceptions cannot contain my passion and purpose. So the artworks in this exhibition are from a series called the Not Fragile series that I've been working on for a few months now. And essentially they portray a black woman whose mind is represented by an open box with an unapologetic message. The open box portrays the state of mind of black women and how regardless of social issues and injustices, they are unbreakable beings. Each painting is breaking a false narrative, a falsehood that society has had about black women. So for Lemonade Dress, it's depicting a woman cutting lemons. And it's from the saying, if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So through adversity, black women have been able to make opportunities for them to grow and succeed. The second painting is the Olive Dress, and it's about how black women continue to bring attention to the value of black lives, the undoubtable truth of their worth, and the urgency of equality and peace. So I create to find peace. I create to embolden myself and the viewers of my work. I create to undo my own prejudice, and especially in this particular series, I create to make amends for any prejudice that I might have had in the past. I am inspired by people generally. I'm inspired by the black women that surround me. I'm inspired by their strength, their mind, their grace, their vulnerabilities, their desires. They are truly a great resource for my work. The most frustrating aspect of creating is beginning for me. And also because I get stuck in my mind most of the time about if this is meaningful enough. Is it understandable when I'm not in the room for the viewer? Because I want each person, whether they're a layman or well-educated, to understand the work. And also in the contemplating of ideas, I usually tend to get lost for too long. So that's why beginning is usually the problem. But it's also a very fun part for me because then I know that my work has meaning and I know that whatever I create will have meaning for others if it has meaning for me. The best conditions for me to work are really at night because it's quiet, the peace. I live in a home with very many people. I do love their presence, but I can easily get distracted. I'm very visual. And so at night is where I feel like my thoughts kind of settle. And that's the best time for me to work. To overcome creative blocks, I read and I write because of a statement I had that said, if you're underthinking, you should read. If you're overthinking, you should write. And so it helps me process everything that I'm dealing with or what issues I need to resolve before I do my work. And it's important to know what I can control and what I cannot control. So writing helps me do that. And then when I read, it opens up my mind to so many things and even things that I don't think that I would have seen if I had stayed in my head. I believe that art is an archive of the human experience, a visual song of remembrance. Every story is necessary so that we can marvel at how far humanity has come and to find the urgency in what needs to change. I always have the viewer in mind as I create my work because at the end of the day, that's how I know that the artwork is complete. Because I make and then they must receive. And so there has to be understanding of the subject matter. There has to be understanding of the objects. There has to be understanding for them beyond what I can dream. Yeah. And so I want for my works to be able to transcend myself being in the room to explain it. so it must also be visually appealing and conceptually understandable. I would love for the viewer to see themselves in the work, whether the subject matter is them or not, because essentially all of humanity is not fragile. We have been able to go through a pandemic, fight wars, diseases, social injustice. We are all in this together. We are not each other's enemy. And at the end of the day, I want to see them to see that they are unbreakable beings who can grow and learn from their mistakes. I have evolved in my practice within the last 2 years, especially in my style. Before, it was very black and white. I didn't want to experiment with color. But I'm thankful that I got to do a residency earlier in the year called Silhouette Projects, which allowed me to have space to create without the pressure of commissions. And I used to do a lot of portraiture, but now I get to create from my own ideas and beliefs and not necessarily for others as my primary goal. My primary goal is for me to be at peace first before I can affect those around me. I would like to continue to advocate for women in my work. I would like to know that my work speaks for them, emboldens them beyond the canvas. And to do that, I would like to align myself with people, hopefully create spaces where they can heal and grow and find their voices and know that they're also heard. I hope that I'll also have institutional recognition for my work by that time. I would describe myself in only 2 words as an artist: a thoughtful advocate.